Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, Classic / Non-Classic. This is episode number 949, Doubleshot number 843. I have two Batman-related trades to talk about for this one. First up, it is Birds of Prey Volume 1. Surprisingly, no subtitle with this one. Everything in here is pretty, with the exception of one. I think pretty much everything in here is run by one person. Yeah, with the exception of one particular thing in here, everything in here is run by Chuck Dixon. The only thing that's not run by Chuck Dixon is one particular story. The other writer is Jordan B. Gorfegel. Yep. The artists in here are Gary Frank, Jennifer Grace, Matt Haley, Sal Buscema, Salfino Riccelli, the late Dick Giorno, and the tracer Greg Land. Yep. The cover art for this thing is done by Matt Haley and Wade Von Goodberger. The cover art for the series is done by Gary Frank, John Dill, and John Nurburg. This book contains pretty much like all the stuff that led up until the Birds of Prey ongoing series that started publishing in 1999. That was later relaunched in 2009 after 127 issues. And then after 15 issues, basically publishing about 2 years, it was launched again, where it lasted 34 issues, and then it ended after publishing for about 3 years. It ended and came back roughly 3 years ago as Batgirl and Birds of Prey, and that book got canceled 22 issues. I'm like, why is DC basically book around for a small period of time and just not having it last for longer? Yeah. Okay, now basically they have chronological order these particular books. The first appearance of Birds of Prey, Bat Canary / Oracle, Birds of Prey number 1, Showcase 96 number 3, Birds of Prey Manhunt 1 through 4, Birds of Prey Revolution, Birds of Prey Wolves, and Birds of Prey Batgirl. Now, I should point out though, take a look at the cover of take a look at this. Now, the Huntress is in here. But here's the thing. She's not technically a founding member of the team. Now, during this era of Birds of Prey, because of course they got reimagined when Gail Simone took over the book, yeah, basically the way that Chuck Dixon wrote this book is that Black Canary is an operative for Oracle going overseas and doing various things. This costume, yeah, from the debut of this team, though they don't become a team until issue 55, though they don't get the name until like issue 82. That's not a joke. That's seriously what happened with this thing. Yeah, this is a new costume. Yeah, basically, according to the way that Oracle described it, is that, well, we have this of it that's talking, so it's just the classic costume for this. I wasn't really a big fan of this costume at first. Of course, I didn't read this when this originally came out back in the 90s. But it's grown on me over time. Huntress, of course, is wearing her costume from the early 90s. Yeah. She's in here just for the Manhunt miniseries, where Black Canary teams with her and Catwoman, who's in her skin-type Jim Ballant purple costume. That's not a joke. That's seriously what happened with her. Yeah. Let's see if I can find her here. Yeah, and here's the thing. Apparently, Oracle doesn't trust either one of these two, despite the fact Huntress is a good person. Yes, though her distrust in when it comes to her comes from, well, Batman. And of course, here's Catwoman in the costume Jim Ballant gave her in the 1990s. No, I did not get a chance to ask Jim Ballant about this because I didn't get a chance to see him. Yeah, I think I went by his booth, and he wasn't even there. Despite the fact he said he was good, I think he may have either gone home for the day or he may have gone to the bath. I don't really know what happened. Yeah. At one point you have, well, after one particular story, because, well, half the time the way Chuck Dixon writes Barbara Gordon here, she basically spends half the time yelling at Oracle to do something. Yeah, screaming her ear. And then, like, she just gives her earrings, puts her earrings in the glove compartment of Huntress's car. And also, Huntress basically had to call up the school she works for. Yeah, Huntress is a school teacher. And thank you, thank you, the writers of Lars, for actually remembering that for the Batgirl Birds of Prey title. Because apparently Tim Seeley and Tom King apparently either forgot or just didn't know about that particular factoid when it came to the Huntress. They also forgot the fact she's Italian, not black. Yes, it's still Yeah, for a lot of people, it still bothers them the fact the Huntress was basically reskinned to be black for like no reason at all. Yes, Helen Bertinelli, despite the fact she's supposed to be Italian, is basically black. Maybe she's half Italian and black, though they did kind of fix that coloring for her in the pages of background Birds of Prey. But yeah, this book is really good. I do recommend it to people who want to check out the earlier stuff, Birds of Prey. I should point out though, this is a combination of 2 volumes. Yes, the first 2 volumes published Birds of Prey title, and the second volume is basically essentially put the original volume 2, volume 3. Now, I'm gonna give this book roughly 9.5 out of 10. I should point out that when it comes to the trades originally for Birds of Prey, this was particularly very bizarre. After they did the first 6 issues, for some strange reason, Volume 4 decided to skip over the rest of Chuck Dixon's run and start with Gail Simone's run for some strange reason. I have no idea why in the world they did this for, but they did. It's bizarre, but okay, fine. Yep. And there's been a few more trades released since then. Not many. Let's see, this trade was released roughly in 2015. This came out roughly 4 years ago. Let me see. I think that I know if in case you want, I have reviewed volume 2 of this. Let's see if I can find it here. Yes, I do know about the Birds of Prey film that's coming out next year. I'm definitely going to see it because, well, I like the Birds of Prey. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, for some reason, the trades, the last one came out roughly 2 years ago, for some strange reason decided to just stop. I don't know why. It's like they come out once a year, and then they just abruptly stop. It's particularly very bizarre. Yeah, but like I said, this is the combination of basically taking the first 2 Birds of Prey trades released and combine them to one. In the case of the second volume of Birds of Prey, that one is simply put collecting, like, well, the rest of what was in the second trade, plus adding in issue 7 through 11 and the Ravens one-shot. Yep. Now, in the case of the next book I'm going to talk about, Azrael. Now, this is basically the first trade of this thing, and I should point out that this is the only trade release. This is Azrael Volume 1, Fallen Angel, which was the first arc of the ongoing series done by Denny O'Neil. And surprisingly, he was the only writer of this whole damn series. Well, the first volume is. Yes. And you know what the weird thing is? The character himself, John Palvelli. For some strange reason, I don't know why this was when it comes to this particular series. Yeah, I don't know why this is the only one released. Yeah, this came out roughly 3 years ago, and there's not been a single volume published since then. I'm like, why? There's nothing wrong with this. Okay, this book just contains the original miniseries that had its debut, which is Batman Sword of Azrael, which was written by Denny O'Neil and artwork by Joe Quesada. For a lot of people recently, the guy behind One More Day. So yeah, he creates someone awesome like Azrael, and then something as bad as One More Day. That's the only really bad he's ever done at Marvel I can think of. Yep. The Sword of Azrael miniseries just basically has the debut of the character John Palvelli, has sort of his origin story, but it's not exactly fleshed out there. The showcase issue is simply put his next appearance as Azrael. This, of course, comes right after the events of Nightfall. And as for the Azrael ongoing series, it's just basically the first arc of the series. Now, in the case of the Sword of Azrael, apparently Batman told Azrael from the start that he was Bruce Wayne. So I'm like, okay. So yeah. Also, they show off his father in here, who wears not exactly the same costume he does, but his father was the original. Well, he was the previous Azrael because John Palvelli is technically considered to be second Azrael. Yeah, This guy here on the left, that's John Paul Valley's father, the original Azrael. And he's part of the Order of Saint Dumas. Dutchman is going to be the first of 2 trades I'm going to review. Basically has Azrael because I have another book featuring him in it right now, called Joseph Odyssey. You'll find out about that in the next episode. Actually, 2 episodes from now. Yep. And now, during the storyline, The Fallen Angel, at one point he runs into Ra's al Ghul. I'm thinking, yeah, that makes perfect sense because Daniel O'Neill created him with Neil Adams back in the 70s. So why not have him meet one of the most well-known, not exactly, let's say, he's not exactly one of the more well-known villains outside the comics. I mean, his first live-action experience wasn't until 2005 in the Batman Begins film. That was the first time he was ever seen live action. Though you were seeing also an Arrow, which the actor put on a good performance, terribly written character, and of course show up on freaking Gotham, which I have not watched this season where he was in. And of course, he also meets Talia. And I should point out though, John Paul Valley, in all these issues, still wears the first costume. He has not changed his costume yet. No, he does eventually change his costume till like about 3 years into the run. I'm going to give this book, because it's a good start for this book, a 9.5 out of 10. If you're curious about the character Azrael, and you want to check out him outside of the event of Nightfall, I do recommend checking this out. Now, like I said, this is the original Azrael, John Paul Valley, not Michael Lane, who showed up in the 2000s, years after he died. Now, I should point out, though, despite the fact, yes, he was first appeared in Sword of Azrael #1, which came, I believe, was like 1993, I think it was, right? 92. He finally died in issue 100, which came out in 2000, roughly 11 years after his debut. And the person who wrote that issue was Daniel O'Neill. And him being the one who writes his death makes perfect sense. He created the character, he has the right to kill him off. He was also surprisingly the editor of the comic book. Yeah, that's something that's quite weird about this. He wrote and edited this whole book. The whole run. Yep, he did. Now, Alan Grant also is here listed as a writer in here. Well, artist. Yeah, writer. He writes the showcase issue, basically everything else is done by him. Joe Quesada just does the 4-issue miniseries Sword of Azrael. Mike Vandenberg does the showcase issue, and Barry Kitson, very good artist he is, he initially just does the issues themselves. Now, I've met the inker in here. He only inked the first 75 issues. Now, if I see him again, I'm going to definitely bring this way for him to sign. But yeah, not much else to say. 2 really good trades. Yeah. That's simply what these 2 are. Basically, the start of something. Though in the case of this, the only trade released. Well, in the case of this one, the first of 3 trades released. Yeah, I have the first 2. I don't have the 3rd one yet. And for some reason, the 3rd volume just goes straight to 21 for some reason. I'm thinking though, DC, you know for a fact there's still 22 issues left. Actually, more like 20. Yeah, there's roughly 23 left, and you stop after 3 volumes? Why? Because there wasn't much demand for it, it was not selling too well? I don't know. Maybe you're having disagreements with Chuck Dixon. Who the heck knows? Okay? So yeah, that's particularly it for this particular view. I don't really have any more time doing my videos today, but I really want to do this one today and the review for JoJo today. Tomorrow I'll do definitely review of newest episode of One Piece, Dragon Ball Super, Boruto, but also going to do another comic corner, 2 manga reviews, and that's it. Roughly 6 videos to do tomorrow. Well, at least today I put out 2. Yep, I put out 2, okay? So, until the next video, bye.